Hey now! What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and I just got back from the theaters after seeing Barbie. This is a 2023 film that was directed by Greta Gerwig, and I'll be honest, I don't really know why I went and saw the movie. Maybe partially out of curiosity, maybe because I have been hearing pretty good buzz for the film. The movie theater was packed, there was so many people wearing pink. This movie is going to be something big. I originally was going to see Oppenheimer, but something happened with the projection and there was a whole thing. It's almost like the universe told me, no, motherfucker, watch this movie first. Let me just jump right to my impressions. I enjoyed myself. I did. I'm not going to say, oh my god, this is the best movie of the year, which I have seen headlines for. I'm not going to say, oh my god, this is how you do a big summer blockbuster. Although it was fun. I do think that there will be a divide with certain people when it comes to this movie because on the one hand, yes, the writing is very strong. The writing is a lot smarter than I think I originally was expecting from the film, although I shouldn't be surprised. I think this movie is sharp. I think this movie had a point of view that it wanted to convey, get across, and it also just wanted to be goofy, right? So it accomplishes a lot of those things. It sort of makes this movie that I think is okay for a lot of different audiences to get something out of. Margot Robbie is amazing. Physically, visually, she looks the part and she's hot as hell. But there are so many points in this movie where she's crying and being emotional and actually having range playing a Barbie doll character. It's almost like they said, well, Margot is hot, yes, but she can also act her ass off, so we're going to fully take advantage of that. Ryan Gosling as Ken was my favorite, just as far as stealing scenes, but he's the type of guy who I didn't think he was too over the top. I think he was just good at playing this doofus of a character, this guy who doesn't really know his purpose in life without Barbie. Like, he has to be attached to her. And there's this subplot with him where he sort of figures out what it is to be a man, what it is to like act like a complete douche man. And I found all of that hilarious. There was just so many points. A lot of the humor does work. Maybe a couple jokes didn't work for me, but for the most part, I was laughing way more than not. Some of the other cast, a lot of great actors in here. Simu Liu, Issa Rae, Kate McKinnon, who I usually don't enjoy, but I didn't mind her here. And Michael Cera. Where the fuck has that guy been? America Ferrera and her daughter in the movie. There's this side plot that I thought was going to be more in your face and have a lot maybe where the movie could have veered off to become more about that. They did enough with it to make it feel like it mattered, but I was glad of what their roles ended up being so that it didn't feel maybe too cheesy, corny, or heavy-handed. Will Ferrell, who there's something about Will Ferrell's energy, his natural, you can tell he's improvising for a lot of his scenes. Again, not all of his stuff worked, but there was enough stuff that made me just laugh of the stupidity. And the way how this movie was able to balance like the Barbie land and the real world and how it didn't take too much time in one area. We went back and forth. They knew how to keep this movie going. I was never bored. I never felt like checking my watch and saying, when's this going to be over? Again, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Now, there is parts in this movie where you might, if you're this type of person, you might feel like it's heavy-handed. You might feel like, oh, they're trying to shove this in your face. And I understand it. I'm not going to argue too hard. I will say that it just didn't affect me or offend me. I did not mind that this movie was willing to sort of stop for a second and just talk about a female point of view over how much it might suck to be a woman. Given what this movie could have been, I saw this article where originally when this movie was in development, Amy Schumer was going to play the lead role. I mean, the thought of that, the Amy Schumer movies I have seen, so knowing what this could have been, knowing how awful, how unbearable, how just flat out bad this would have been, I'm going to give this movie a full price. Extra points for not going in that direction. I think this movie was handled with slightly more care than it could have been. So guys, let me know in the comments below if you too saw Barbie. What did you think of it? Did you like it as well? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!